Harper One and HarperAudio present The Bible, With and Without Jesus. How Jews and Christians Read the Same Stories Differently. By Amy Jill Levine and Marc V. Brettler. Read by Marni Penning. A note before we begin. Don't forget to download the accompanying enhancement PDF from your audiobook provider, or go directly to www.harpercollins.com/audio/Bible with and without Jesus. The enhancement contains notes on translations and abbreviations found in this book. Preface. Our book's cover, Marc Chagall's Abraham and the Three Angels, 1966, offers readers the choice of multiple interpretations. Some may see an invocation of Genesis 18, the story of three angels or messengers who appear to Abraham and Sarah and announce that Sarah, well into menopause, will soon miraculously give birth to a son. For these readers, the picture may bring to mind a main theme of the Bible, expressed through the text's powerful question, "Is anything too wonderful for the Lord?" Genesis 18:14. Those aware of Jewish biblical interpretation may be reminded of the tradition of Abraham as the model of hospitality, who every day sat at the entrance of his tent in the heat of the day, Genesis 18:1, to greet any passers-by and to give them water and food to refresh themselves before they continued on their journey. Christian readers might focus on the meal as representing the Eucharist, or on the angels' halos, a typical depiction in Christian art, and view this painting as recalling earlier Christian depictions of this scene, where the halos indicate that these three angelic visitors are the Holy Trinity. To complicate matters more, what does it mean that the Jewish Chagall painted this scene from the Hebrew Bible, using images that characterize Eastern Orthodox icons, in particular Andrei Rublev's The Old Testament Trinity? We suggest that all of these perspectives, the biblical, the Jewish, the Christian, are important, and all are necessarily partial. The answers we receive, the interpretations we develop, are all dependent on the questions we ask, the experiences we bring, and the preferences we have. The multiple interpretations of Chagall's picture highlight the intent of this book. Its title is not The Bible with or Without Jesus. It is The Bible with and Without Jesus. This title offers three subjects that we care about equally: Bible, with Jesus, and without Jesus. We do not claim that only one way of reading Genesis, or any other text in what is called variously the Hebrew Bible, the Tanakh, and the Old Testament, is correct. The questions we bring to the text will yield multiple answers, sometimes mutually exclusive, and sometimes complementary and even mutually enhancing. We do not ask only, what did this text mean in its original context, the time that the author of Genesis wrote the tale? Nor do we ask only, what does Genesis 18 mean in a Christian context, with Jesus? Nor again do we focus only on the various readings of the ancient scripture in the post-biblical Jewish context, without Jesus. Rather, we seek to put these various interpretations into dialogue, for such dialogue helps us understand why, when we read the same text or look at the same painting, we come away with such different views. The better we can see through the eyes of our neighbors, the better able we are to be good neighbors. The more aware we are of the historical settings of the original texts, as best as we can determine them, the better we can see how the texts might have been interpreted by the ancient audience that first heard them. And the more aware we are of the historical settings of those who interpreted the biblical texts, the better we understand our own religious traditions and those of our neighbors. This multi-lensed perspective comes from our teaching experience. In both our classrooms and our various programs in churches and synagogues, we have encountered individuals with limited views of their own traditions and even more limited views of interpretations in other religious communities. We have seen not only
Sample complete. Ready to continue?